Hello everyone. Today we are comparing box plots with histograms and dot plots. The number of text messages received by a group of teenagers are displayed in the frequency histogram and box plot below. Okay. Now just so you see how to read this, so you've got each certain number up to a certain frequency. So for example, say this 2 goes to 6, so that means there's a 2 6 times. It'll be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So each of these scores has a certain number of frequencies. And here's the box plot as well. Remember, lowest score, Q1, Q2, Q3, highest score. Or lowest score, let's see, is 0, highest score is 10. Now if you haven't yet, please actually pause and write these down, because the next slide has a few questions based on these two graphs. Okay, question time. So let's go through these. Please write them down. So part A, B, C, D, and E, and we'll go through them based on the actual graphs. So part A, how many teenagers receive more than 6 text messages per hour? Okay, so obviously the scores more than 6 would be 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you're looking for the frequencies of 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now 7 has 3 people, 8 has 2, and 9 and 10 have 1 each. So it's going to be 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, which is 7. So again, we are adding the frequencies for the scores we're looking for, which is 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now part B, finding the modes, median, range, and interquartile range. Now remember, mode is the most common, so the highest frequency. So on the histogram, you can see that 3 has the highest peak, so that means our mode is going to be 3, highest frequency. Median, which is the middle. Remember on the box and whisker plot, that is the middle part of the box, which is the 4. Remember, I might just draw on the side. If you have a basic box and whisker plot, like so, the one in the middle is always Q2, which on the graph on the previous slide, it is 4. Now the range, highest minus lowest, so 10 minus 0, which of course is 10. And then part 4, IQR, remember we're doing this minus this on the box, which ends up being 6 minus 2. So on your graph, that's 6, that is 2. So 6 minus 2, which is 4. Okay, part C. The shape of the distribution is positively skewed. How is this shown by part I, the frequency histogram, and then part 2, the box plots? We'll think back a few lessons. Remember the graph. If the cluster of if there's more small scores, or if the tail's on the right, it's positively skewed. So let's just say tail on the right. On the right. Or you could say more lower scores, or cluster on the left. And then part 2 of the box plot. Well, that, as you can see on the previous slide, I might just draw it here as well. You pretty much have this going on. You've got this, and you've got a longer whisker on the right-hand side. So we can actually say longer whisker on right. Okay, part D. According to the box plot, what percentage of teenagers receive 2 or more text messages? Okay, to help solve this, I might just draw another diagram. So let's draw it out again. So we have this idea happening. Now remember, we've got lowest, highest, Q1, Q2, Q3. On the actual box and whisker plot, we have 2. This is 4, just reading off the graph. This is 6. This is 0. This is 10. Just translating the actual graph to this slide. So the question is, what percentage receive 2 or more? So that includes 2. So what percentage is from here onwards? So from here onwards, we want. Now remember, thinking back a couple lessons, there's 25% between lowest and Q1, 25% between Q1 and Q2, 25% between 2 and 3, and then 25% up here. remember, quarter means 25%. So from here upwards, we have 3 lots of 25, which is 75%. So we can say 3 times 25%, which is 75%. Okay, and then part E. What information is seen better on the histogram and then the box plot? Well, obviously on a histogram, when you've got columns everywhere, obviously the peak, this is just a made up one by the way, the peak is easier to see on a histogram. So the mode is easier because you can literally see the peak. So mode can see the peak easily. Okay. Now the box plot, what's better in that? Well, you can see that it's much easier to make out where the quarters are. Whereas on here, you have to actually figure out where Q1, Q2, Q3 is. But on this, straight away you have them right here. So we can actually say, measure the spread. So IQR, range, median, etc. Okay, and there we go. Here's some more work. Still some Year 10 work. So have a go. Exercise 607, and I'll see you in the next video.